Hello, humans. Welcome back to the F the Lines podcast, the show where we talk about creativity, introversion, and how to stay wildly functional in a distracted world. I'm the little plastic back support on your computer chair that looks impressive but serves absolutely no purpose at all. Andrew Foltz, and in this episode, I'm going to be talking about how I had to wade through a pile of ergonomic bullshit when my body started to fall apart this summer. We'll cover what works, what doesn't, and why the best solutions are free. Hope you guys enjoy this one, and I'll see you on the other side. July 2019. Sleep is the most boring thing in the world until you can't get any. And then suddenly it becomes very interesting. So interesting, in fact, that you start to feel like Jack Nicholson in The Shining. That was my general state of mind after 2 months of dealing with back pain last summer. It was so bad I could barely sleep for more than an hour at a time, let alone get actual work done. I would wake up with this horrible piercing sensation in my spine and literally couldn't breathe because the smallest movements made it even worse. Mentally, I was chained to a typewriter, but instead of no play, I was looping endlessly over fatigue as it ate away at my sanity. All pain and no sleep makes Andrew a dull boy. All pain and no sleep makes Andrew a dull boy. All pain and no sleep makes Andrew a dull boy. Barefoot shoes had fixed my feet, so my natural inclination was to try and fix my back by throwing out my mattress and sleeping on the floor. I watched a few YouTube videos, grabbed some random bedding, sleeping bags, camping pads, blankets, and assumed the position, aka lying flat on my back and waiting for the pain to start. The first night I didn't get much sleep. I tried more cushion, less cushion, and then finally just straight up sleeping on the carpet. It all felt better than sleeping on a mattress, but I was still waking up multiple times every night. It was far from ideal. The next stop on Insomnia Express was my computer chair, if you could call it that. I was, or had been, spending 8 hours a day in this gray piece of junk that was more death trap than chair, which, in retrospect, should have been my primary suspect. I drove over to Best Buy and started test driving the inventory. It was hard to know what would work, and when I found one I liked, it wasn't in stock, so I settled for a $120 mesh chair that seemed halfway decent. After a few days, my back was feeling better, but the plastic support behind the mesh started hurting and my pain migrated south. Frustrated, I consulted YouTube for alternatives yet again and found a whole feed full of people swearing by the health benefits of standing desks. It made sense. I mean, sitting just sounds bad for you, doesn't it? I ordered a Vivo hand crank desk and even made a custom tabletop with elbow rests. For the third time, my back improved, but my knees were now killing me. Standing in one place was even worse than sitting. In a last-ditch effort, I started stalking premium ergonomic chairs on eBay. The Herman Miller Embody chair seemed like the answer to my prayers, and used ones were going for like $600. Except, whoops, I was out of prayers, and by prayers I mean money. I was both broken and broke. In the running world, there's a category of shoes called stability. The manufacturer puts some kind of clunky material under the arch to try and prevent your ankle from bending in. One day I thought, wait, if I don't like stability shoes, why the hell am I using a chair that has back support? I grabbed a screwdriver and started assaulting the thick piece of plastic pushing out against the mesh of the chair. It was a pretty epic battle. Like a parasite, the support didn't want to be removed, but I finally yanked it out and tossed it on the floor in disgust. In a few days, my back returned to normal, but there was still the mystery of my sleep. I wasn't waking up with a knife in my spine, but I wasn't sleeping beauty either. My back still felt kind of stiff. When I woke up one morning with this weird centipede thing next to me, I thought, nope, not sleeping on the floor anymore. Following the less is more rule, I bought a cheap futon on Craigslist and ditched my multiple layers of bedding for an inflatable camping pad. The pad was a gift from my aunt, and it had been sitting in my closet, which to me is further evidence that the best solution to a problem is usually something you already own, aka ask and the universe will provide a lecture on how completely oblivious you are. Dude, wake up, I gave you the solution like 6 months ago. Not only did a simple camping pad help me sleep better, but my futon freed up a ton of space in my room. When it comes to ergonomics, less is literally more. If a tiny piece of plastic was messing up my back, the solution to your ergonomic nightmare is probably simple too. And if you don't have a problem yet, that's the best time to protect yourself. After 5 years of being a web developer, I ended up with arthritis in my fingers, and to be honest, it could have been avoided with a few small adjustments. Here's a list of what's worked for me. Number 1, position. Your wallet will be happy to know that the best ergonomic products cost nothing at all. You can fix most problems by either changing your posture or adding DIY mods to your existing workspace. So here's some tips on that. Keep your wrists level. You shouldn't be bending them up or down. This pinches the carpal tunnel and leads to all kinds of nasty pain. Center your view. Your eyes should be even with the middle of your screen. If you're on a laptop, plug in an external keyboard and use books or other found objects to get your screen higher. Legs at 90 degrees. Using a chair that's too high or too low can bend your joints in weird ways and cause problems with your knees and feet. You can shift positions occasionally to stop them from getting stiff. No reaching. Keep your mouse and keyboard close. Reaching out causes tension and injuries. You can also cut some armrests out of a camping pad if your desk surface feels too hard. Number 2, products. You can't get everything for free. A mouse and a keyboard are your bread and butter, so make sure you get something good. Also, don't fall for more. A quality camping pad is better than a crappy mattress. So let's talk about specifics. Keyboard. I've tried high-end ergonomic keyboards, but the Microsoft Ergonomic keyboard for like $50 is my favorite. It's simple, curved, and buttery. Plus, I'm a Mac user, so you know this recommendation is legit. Mouse. A traditional mouse is also the way to go here. I like to switch back and forth between the Apple Magic Mouse and the Kensington Slim Blade trackball mouse, so I don't use one motion too often. Desk. I don't use my standing desk anymore, but I like the elbow rests I made for it. If your chair doesn't have rests, you can either mod your table with some pine boards or buy clamp-on armrests. Bedding. The Climate Static 5 camping pad is my go-to mattress. For around $35, it's a steal and it has these really nice ribbed sections so you can customize which parts of your body get more padding. Also, pro tip, bamboo sheets are much more breathable than cotton. Number 3, routine. Positioning and products can help, but honestly, sitting at a computer all day long is super unnatural. The human body was designed to be outside and moving, so feel free to grind 12 hours a day, but it's your funeral, literally. I like to divide my day into short sprints with micro breaks in between. Here's what an average workday sounds like. I won't go through the whole thing, but you get the picture. 30 minutes, writing my article. 10 minutes, side arm extensions. 30 minutes, writing my article. 10 minutes, hamstring curls. 30 minutes, writing my article. 10 minutes, juggling a soccer ball. As a final note, I would avoid careers and projects that involve a ton of repetitive labor. You can repair your mind, but if you break your body, there's no going back. So let's talk about how you can take action with all of this. Health is a mystery wrapped in an enigma, wrapped in an orgy of ambiguous symptoms. Even if the solution to your problem is simple, it's not easy to figure out which simple solution is the right one. Like everything else in life, you have to experiment. The worst thing you can do is give up and settle for something half-baked. So what's your tweak? Is there something about your workspace that drives you nuts? Did you figure out how to fix it? Leave a comment on Medium and let me know. You can find the link to this article in the description. And as for my tweak, it's hard to keep my wrist level when I'm typing, so I cut up a pair of foam rests and put them in front of my keyboard. It totally helps and my fingers are a lot less achy now. So stay ergonomic, my friends, and I'll catch you next time. P.S. This story is part 5 of 6 of the Physical Fuel series. If you liked it, stay tuned because part 6 is coming soon to a podcast feed near you. Thanks for listening, and I hope you have a creative day.